On a cool September morning, not far from the rocky coast of Cornwall, one of the local marine researchers caught sight of something unusual. There, at low tide, an octopus was ambling with singular determination across the wet, rocky shore. Not swimming, walking. Arms splayed, body held just high enough to avoid the worst of the sand and pebbles. It wasn't hurried, but it certainly knew where it wanted to go. Most passers-by, had they noticed, might have chalked it up to one of those inexplicable things animals do. But this wasn't the first time the team at the Fowey Marine Centre had witnessed such a scene, nor, as it turned out, was it rare. The question burning in their minds, and quite possibly in yours, was simple. Why did the octopus walk out of the sea? Let's start with what we know about octopuses, creatures of legend as much as science. To the casual observer, an octopus crawls across the seafloor in search of food. Sometimes, if agitated, it'll shoot off with a jet of water, arms trailing behind. But walk? On land? That sounds like the stuff of stories told around a seaside bonfire. And yet it happens. There are accounts from all over the world: Sydney, Vancouver, the Shetland Islands. In each, someone catches a glimpse of a cephalopod out of its element, trundling about in the open air. Tangled in mythology for centuries, the octopus walks ashore and immediately raises questions. It's an animal with 3 hearts, blue blood, and a nervous system spread throughout its arms. Evolution decided here was a creature that would be an experiment, not a blueprint. So why does it do it? Most marine biologists will give a practical answer: food. At low tide, tide pools form between the rocks, trapping crabs and mollusks that would otherwise escape. The octopus, patient and opportunistic, knows this. Using its soft body, it squeezes between rocks and pools, probing with its arms. Sometimes the next meal is just a short journey over damp sand. It's the lure of easy prey. The sea recedes, food gets stranded, and the octopus seizes the moment. But that's just one reason, maybe the main one. There are stories, too, that speak of more. One famous case involved an octopus at an aquarium that made a nightly habit of escaping its tank, crossing the room, and raiding a neighboring fish tank, only to return before staff arrived in the morning. A criminal mastermind with 8 arms. But in the wild, the risks are higher. Leaving the water isn't trivial for an octopus. Out of the sea, oxygen is suddenly scarce, the sun bakes, and predators on shore are different and arguably more dangerous. Each journey is a calculated risk, driven by craving or necessity. Some researchers believe octopuses also walk ashore to escape threats of their own: bigger predators, unwelcome rivals, or a surge of polluted water. When the ocean ceases to be safe, a dash across land, brief as it may be, could be the best available survival tactic. There's another, more persistent rumor: curiosity. The octopus is among the most intelligent invertebrates alive today, with the problem-solving skills to open jars, mimic other creatures, and even use tools. Walking out of the sea may sometimes be an act of exploration, a living symbol of adaptability. The sand is firm, the world wider. Why not see what's on the other side of the tide pool? But truthfully, the octopus has limits. Its skin dries quickly, and the need for water carries urgency. Walks on land are measured in minutes, not hours, just long enough to scout a new pool or snag a hidden crab. And it never strays far from a swift retreat to the water. The land is not its home, it's a stopover. Back in Fowey that September morning, the octopus reached the edge of another pool, and with one final glance at the dry world, slid wordlessly beneath the surface. To the surface world, its journey ended as strangely as it began. It's tempting to assign motives, to imagine a cephalopod's thoughts as it surmounts the boundary between sea and shore, pushing the limits of its world with curiosity, hunger, or necessity. Perhaps all three, but maybe, after all the careful science and speculation, the answer is simply this: the octopus walks out of the sea because it can. Because in nature's endless game of adaptation, sometimes the rules change, And just maybe, every so often, an octopus walks on land to remind us that even the borders we think are fixed between sea and land, fact and myth, are never quite as solid as they seem.